All right, so it's Saturday. I came in, finished out a car, cleaned the shop because that's very therapeutic to me and something I enjoy doing. My dad came down and my stepmom came down today, passing through on their way to Myrtle Beach for some golfing for this week. And I'm closing up the shop and just wanted to show you, like, this is the kind of shop that I want, right? Like, everything's clean. We have cardboard that we use. We don't use cat litter and nothing like that. I hate that stuff. But this is basically how my shop pretty much looks all the time, and it's something I'm really proud of. Unfortunately, it was windy and we have leaves coming in here, but I guess I can let that slip. So, my dad came down, and he's been a truck driver most of his life. So he understands this business a little bit from what I, explain to him and tell him and that kind of thing. But, it's not his jam, right? And, I want his input. He's someone I look up to. And he brought up a good point. He's like, dude, how about some positivity? And he's just, everything's so negative. And he's right. It's so easy for me to get tripped up on the negative things. Hang on one second. On the negative things, and it's easy. It's why people watch Jerry Springer and Cops and want to have rage bait posts. The negative things draw attention, whether you do it on purpose or not. It's so easy for your mind to get up into that stuff, and it's really hard to find the good in things. And I don't know how to fix that. Josh Purnell with Limitless Leadership, I want to eventually hire them and work on myself. So some of the leadership training that he offers and his company offers, it's not just him. But until I have another technician and we have more revenue, I have to watch how much I'm spending on these things. And I just can't afford it right now. And, he's not a therapist, but a lot of the stuff that he does, it's basically therapy, in my opinion, right? So, the mindset change. We talked about, your attitude, and I have to work on it, right? But here's some positive things. I got a clean shop. We're starting out the week, kind of relax a little bit, figure out what's real. What can I do to make things better? You eat an elephant one bite at a time. Yeah, we're overloaded with work. Yeah, we have comebacks still sitting here waiting to get done. Really none of them that are here right now are our fault, which is, I guess, that's a good thing, right? We didn't cause it, but customer perception might be different, but at least I know I can sleep well. But I still have cars sitting here that we have to get evaluated. Dude, this thing right here, this car has got an intermittent, no crank, no start. This is the one that I talked about yesterday where I thought that we had a bad ignition lock cylinder housing. And we ended up, I'm comping the testing on this. Just, I thought was going to verify that it's the housing. So I pulled the switch out, started with a screwdriver a bunch of times. I'm like, yeah, we'll keep on testing it. I want to make sure that we're going to call this thing right, because that part is obsolete. You can't get it from Ford anymore. So now you're stuck buying a used one, and we already know it already has a used one in it, so how well is that going to work? Then sure enough, it didn't start. I'm like, great. Now, luckily, I had a halogen test lamp on the signal wire to the starter solenoid, and I did verify that we aren't getting power there when it's not starting. So I know it's not an intermittent bad starter. So I pull up the wiring schematic, and it's like, great. Starter relay is basically in the smart junction box. It's probably a BCM. So I can't test the relay. I can test the relay by going through the BCM, and I got the pinouts for it. And because this thing is so intermittent, I'm basically going to have like 4 or 5 meters on this at the same time, probably a scope, and figure out what isn't getting signal. Is the ground side of the relay through the PCM not being provided? And if it isn't, why isn't it being provided? I mean, could have a bad park neutral switch, could have a bad PCM, could have a bad wiring connection. There's a bunch of different things that we could have. And I bet you we have to crank this thing 40 times maybe before I can get it to do it. Now the car's sitting still, just adds more complexity. So now this quick eval to verify that it was one of these things or the other is not quick. And she thinks that it's going to be it's a comeback, even though it's not. We just had 2 separate issues. I'm probably going to end up testing it for free. If this was a custom paid job, it would have been a standard 170 eval typically. And then once I found out the complexity of the circuit and what it's going to take to actually test these things and how intermittent it is, it would have immediately gone to a $600 additional pre-approval. So she is going to get comped almost $800 in testing to get to the root cause of this problem. So not trying to be negative, but we're still giving away work, trying to save face, I guess, or reputation. Who knows? I still might get a 1-star review, but again, I'll be able to sleep at night because I have the data to show that I had another problem. But regardless, so positivity. I got a clean shop. I got everything situated for this farmer's market tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to just hanging out and hanging out with the wife, with the community. Probably drinking some beer, maybe some whiskey. Can't get too sloshed, right? We're doing a community service thing, so I don't want to be acting a fool over there. Just want to chill. Got a lot of food trucks down there. For anyone that's following me local or whatever, it's that Dirtbag Ales is what is where it's at. Opening day, so positive. It's gonna be a nice day tomorrow. We're gonna hang out with the community. Afterwards, I'm probably gonna come back to the shop and dive into this Ford Fusion and at least get one car evaluated. This Jeep is still not fixed. A buddy of mine reached out just to show some support, and he's a excellent trainer and diagnostician. We'll go by Andy for short. I appreciate him looking out for a fellow struggling guy, right? And so there's another thing of positivity, man. You put yourself out there, and if you're a real person and talk to people, and again, put yourself out there at these training conventions and that kind of stuff, you will gain such a network of people that are like-minded and want to help and everything else. Because I'm telling you, I told you before, these training conventions, life-changing. I wouldn't know any of these people that are willing to help without doing this stuff. So there's a lot of positivity here, but we don't ever, I don't speak about it enough. And, I put a little short out today about hunting the good stuff, and it's the truth. You got to hunt the good stuff. I don't want my life to be a Jerry Springer, that's kind of not fun. It might be fun to view from the outside, but I don't know if anybody really truly enjoyed being on Jerry Springer or Maury Povich, figuring out whose kids are whose. But people want to watch that stuff. But anyway, all right, I'll give you an update. We're thinking good thoughts. We're going to do good things tomorrow. And then I'll give you an update on how that works. We might try to do a little bit of a photo edit or a video edit and try to show you how that turnout was. And then, we'll kind of go from there. All right, see ya.